Some people tap their feet, some people snap their fingers, and some people just sway back and forth. I just sort of do them all together, I guess.
And now here is Elvis Presley.
I got news for you, baby.
So excited, I can't wait.
I think Presley was a star.
Well, heard the news.
Oh, he's such a sexy person. He will always be the king no matter what.
In a recent interview, Priscilla gave her vision about an Elvis hologram tour, and she also went into details about the storyline of the upcoming Elvis biopic.
One of the things I notice you don't do is you don't use a hologram. In this day and age, they can do these things. Is that the next stage, or what do you think?
No, it hasn't progressed really to what I feel would be him. It's very difficult to get his image. Very difficult because the way they do holograms, it's putting bits and pieces together. I don't think the hologram can really match what you're seeing. I haven't really seen it that perfected. I'm not saying it'll never be around because it may progress on everybody, really.
Yeah.
So, but right now it's not in progress.
But there is a biopic film of his life.
Yes.
Is it in production yet?
Well, it's not a biopic of his life.
Yeah.
It's really about Colonel Parker and their relationship as of now.
Yeah. Will we like the Colonel at the end of all of this, do you think?
You know, I personally have had nothing but good experiences with the Colonel. I knew, listen, he was a human being. He was in fear that someone would grab Elvis and Elvis would go, to them, which is Hollywood, and that does happen. I am mixed, honestly, about how he handled Elvis. He was more of a promoter, not really a manager.
Yes,
a manager really has to do what their artists want. And there was, Colonel had other ideas because he was about making the money for the artists.
Some more information about the storyline came from Tom Hanks when he was asked, in his view, a stupid question why he never played the role of a villain in his movies.
I'm about to leave to go to Australia. Good thoughts to Australia for what's going on down there, to work with Baz Luhrmann. And I will be playing, if all goes according to plan, Colonel Tom Parker to Austin Butler's Elvis Presley. And hopefully I will then finally have an answer to all your stupid questions about why will I never play a bad guy. I think I'm about to do that. So that's who I'm playing next. And we have time for one more question.
Linda Thompson gave her son, Brody Jenner, who has a deep admiration for Elvis, a TCB necklace made from Lowell Hayes' original TCB mold. This necklace was recently made and did not belong to Elvis. Many news media misinterpreted this news, stating that the TCB necklace Linda gave once belonged to Elvis. Now you have to remember that Elvis gave the men a TCB and the women a TLC necklace. So Linda was never given a TCB necklace by Elvis. According to Kim Kardashian, her brother Rob Kardashian is the biggest Elvis Presley fan, so she purchased for him 2 of Elvis's rings for Christmas. She bought the rings at Julian's auctions in October of 2019. Some information was blackened on her Instagram post, but I was able to retrieve that information. The ruby ring was sold for $8,750 and the gold and diamond ring was sold for $10,000.
Happy birthday to the king of rock and roll. It's Elvis Presley's 85th birthday today. Presley died 42 years ago, but his legacy is very much alive and well today, right here in the Bluff City. Today and all week, Graceland will celebrate honoring the king. The celebration started with the annual Elvis Presley birthday proclamation ceremony on Graceland's North Lawn at 9 this morning. A birthday cake and a proclamation took place.
Let me tell you, this is a place where you will have friends, meet new friends, and share stories about a beautiful, beautiful man, kind and generous by nature, as we all know.
You just heard Priscilla Presley. Many fans filled Graceland for this very special ceremony.
The Elvis Presley Heartbreak Hotel in Concert show closed on January 7 after performing its 207th show at Harrah's showroom in Las Vegas. The show opened in May of 2019 and held the theater's primetime 8 p.m. slot. The show intends to continue on as a touring production, but no dates or partnerships are yet locked in.
Hello everybody, this is Emil Meyer. In last month's video I asked my viewers, you, for their favorite Happy Elvis Presley Day t-shirt design. The poll which I ran made it clear that this design was the most popular by far. But unfortunately, last month's video got less than 5,000 views, where normally I have between 15 to 19,000 views on average. I hope that this video can reach the usual number of views so that this next poll has a more reliable outcome, as I need a certain amount of potential buyers. Please take note, you can give your answers by filling in the poll in the top right hand corner of your screen. So there you go.
Question 1. Would you be willing to buy this t-shirt for a reasonable price of around £13, €14 or $15? Yes or no? Question 2. If you are willing to buy a t-shirt, what size do you wear? Small, medium, large, extra large or even extra large?
Based on your answers, I can make a final decision whether this project is feasible. To be continued, and bye bye.
Collectors label Follow That Dream Records announced the release of Elvis in California, a 2-CD 5-inch digipack with shows recorded in May of 1974. It contains the 3 p.m. Sunday show in Fresno of May 12, combined with 4 songs of May 10 recorded in San Bernardino. The second disc of this soundboard recording has the show in San Bernardino of May 13 at Swing Auditorium. FTD will also release at the same date Love Letters from Elvis, a double LP pressed on 180-gram heavyweight vinyl. The set features outtakes and masters. In the Elvis Presley News Report of October 2019, I informed you about the plans of Boulevard Souvenirs to open a new location just 100 steps from Sun Studio. Many of you will know that Boulevard Souvenirs is the last independently owned Elvis Presley themed gift shop on Elvis Presley Boulevard. But in October of 2019 it was still unclear if Boulevard Souvenirs were leaving Elvis Presley Boulevard. Now the shop have made it clear in a Facebook posting that they are indeed leaving Elvis Presley Boulevard. The correct answer to last month's trivia question is that Runaway and Yesterday were recorded in August of 1969 and not in February of 1970, despite the claim on the sleeve of the Onstage LP. The trivia question of this month is, can you describe the photo of Elvis that was photoshopped in this month's video? Place your answer in the comments.
Local 24 News reporter Jalen Socek is at Graceland, and she got an inside look at those celebrations.
There are a lot of concerts happening this week to celebrate Elvis Presley's 85th birthday, but there's also an opportunity for people to take home a piece of Elvis besides the piece of cake. Also happening today, there will be an auction featuring nearly 300 items, all items that have been authenticated by the Graceland estate. Features everything from Presley's clothing, jewelry, concert and movie memorabilia. His senior yearbook is also included, and a fun fact here, the Presley family actually couldn't afford to even buy Elvis a yearbook at the time. One of the big items up for auction today, Elvis's used Harley-Davidson golf cart. There have been around 15 of these auctions in recent years. Despite living only to 42 years old, Presley left a trail of collectibles.
But he gave away things constantly, rings, clothing, cars, homes. Very willing autograph signer. So because he had such a long career and was so willing, he really created a memorabilia market out there of his material.
Here is the top 3 of highest paid items at the auction at Graceland of January 8, 2020. It struck me that the estimations were way off to the fetched prices. At number 3 is this group of 22 photos taken at the Lee County Sheriff's Office, where Elvis received his deputy badge on December 29, 1970. The snapshots emanate from the Janelle McComb collection. Elvis is seen wearing the same outfit from Sonny West's wedding the day before, and at which the famous photo of himself and all the guys with their badges was taken. It was sold for $21,250. Personally speaking, I find this amount of money quite odd, as most of these photos can be found on the internet, but I guess these are the original ones. At number 2 is this gold-colored Elvis monogrammed ID bracelet with secret photo compartment. This bracelet was originally sold by Patsy Gamble in 1988. It was sold for $30,000. And at number 1 is this owned and worn alpaca vest gifted by Elvis to Texas DJ and dear personal friend Eddie Fidel. It was sold for $42,500. What is going on in the United States of America? The Elvis Seen / Unseen concert tour was originally scheduled for October-November 2019, but was postponed due to circumstances beyond anyone's control. New dates were set for January-February of 2020, but the tour has now been cancelled due to unforeseen circumstances. The reasons given are very unsatisfying, and I think the people in charge should get their act together. Perhaps they should ask advice in the United Kingdom, as the tour of last year was very successful over there. The theme of this year's Elvis Parks Festival in New South Wales, Australia was the Elvis movie Frankie and Johnny. Unfortunately, the festival was affected by the bushfires in this part of the world.
The organisers have told us that some people have been unable to attend because they've been caught up in those bushfires, whether at their homes or on holidays, and have been unable to leave those bushfire-affected towns on the south coast. But on the silver lining has been that some people who have been unable to go on holiday because of those bushfires have actually opted to come to the park's Elvis Festival. So they normally get about 25 to 30,000 people across the week here, and while they don't have the final figures, the numbers might be a little bit down, but they're not expecting that the bushfires have affected figures too much. Oh, it's very, very important. Just like that holiday trade that the bushfire affected areas have been missing out on so far this year, this festival is one of the real money pots for parks. It's obviously one of the towns that's deeply affected by the drought, so it's twofold. There's been the bushfires and the drought, but the amount of money that is pumped into this economy, it's about $50 million just in the park's Elvis Festival alone.
That's all for this month. Hope to see you next time. Until then, have a happy Elvis Presley Day.
You have a